Okay, guys. Once again, good afternoon. Um, how are we all doing? And I apologize for giving us such hard assignments within a short period of time, within a short time frame, and a lot of us had challenges that we there was no power supply and there was no data. Like there was data, but the network has become issues, very big challenges for like 3 days. And I apologize, and I have extended the submission of assignments. And I believe and I hope that extra 48 hours will help us to finish up our assignments early and then submit before the link will be disabled or the submission site will be disabled. So last week, previously we've been talking about introduction to UI UX. We know what UI stands for. We actually know what UX stands for. We know that their principles, some of their principles are related. We talked about which of them comes first, of which the UX comes before the UI. And then we've talked about the things, the process of carrying out on a project. We looked about user research. You get to know your user, get to understand them, to create a better solution for them, to solve a problem for them. We looked at flow charts. We know the importance of flow charts, what does flow chart stands for, the benefit of flow charts. Then we moved to wireframing, where we talk about the definition of wireframing, the importance of wireframe, the benefits, and we looked at the types of wireframe we have. We looked at the low fidelity, we looked at the mid fidelity, which is the middle fidelity, and we looked at the high fidelity. So last week we looked on prototyping. What is the prototyping? What is the importance of prototyping? What are the types of prototyping? So types of prototyping and types of wireframing, they are almost the same thing. Connecting your designs or connecting your screens to link to another one. And we talked about the benefits of prototyping. Now we've talked all what we've been saying was things that are just related to UX, because if you look back to from where we are coming, like if you look back from user research method, you will see that we've been talking about more of the UX, more of the UX, more of the UX. And the reason is because UX actually comes before UI. And like I said, if you want to have a better solution, you need to pass through the stage of UI, not UI before UX. And if you want to have a nice, friendly, nice interface and nice experience for your user, if you want your user to have nice experience using your product, you have to follow this normal road paths, which is actually going to help you very, very well. So today we'll be talking about the visual design techniques. What is visual design techniques? Now I'm going to use the word we already know, style guide. Everybody know what is style guide, style guides. People, I know you've come across the word style guide. You've been looking at people design on Figma community, and you've come across where a word or something like style guide. So style guide is what we already know, a guide to actually help us build our UI designs. Just like a toolbox where you pick things you then add to your design. So we're just going to use the advanced words for it, which is like the visual design techniques. Now, what is visual design techniques? User interface design is about creating an interactive experience through an interface with clear and simple choice for the user. Now, like what we've been talking about, we've been saying that you're not just creating a product that is just going to be beautiful out there. You're not creating a product because it's fine in your eye, it's beautiful in your eye, it's working from your end. Yes, you want it to be this way. But does it actually solve the problem of this particular user? Are you actually building this product, or are you actually designing this product for your user, for your target user, or for your target audience? Are you actually building this product for them, or you are just building this product based on is fine from your end. If you want it to work like this, but does it satisfy your user? That is text field. Okay. It resolves around the proper placement of the text field, radio button, slider, icon, tag, notification, menu bar, message box, mother window, search field, toggles, footer, list. Now, all these things I am just calling are in your design. Like I said, when I was designing that home page, mobile food app mobile view, I was telling you this place is called the header. I was saying this place is called the bottom navigation. I I, I don't know. I'm back. Ete logged me out. So I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
All right, so this is what we are going to face today. Sorry. So when we are designing that homepage, you heard me say something like menu. You heard me say something like in search bar, notification, bottom navigation. I was just calling some names that we are strange, and you'll be wondering what am I saying. So all those things revolves are elements that you can make up a designs. And when I was designing the authentication screen, you heard me the sign up screen, the login screen, forgot password, create password. You heard me saying, "Oh, my text field, I don't like sharp input field, sharp edge input field. I love curvy input field." You heard me saying something about I'm going to place this checkbox here where if you want a user to actually remember the system to remember their login details, you click it. If you don't want the system to actually remember your login details, you just unclick. You heard me saying something like radio button, toggle, and all. All these elements directly impact the user interaction and overall experience. Now, a good user experience makes its user feel more at ease, learn faster, and gain mystery over the product quickly. As a UI designer, you investigate all possible interactions and behavior of the user with a product to create a prototype that best adapts to their needs. Now, let's go back to what we've all been doing in our assignments. Now, we let's go back to the the food information screen I did in class last week. And you saw how beautiful that screen was when we did the mid fidelity, when we made when we did the mid fidelity where I was adding some boxes. I was saying that boxes is going to come. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you can tell how all those elements came up, like when we were joining those elements, we came up with a beautiful um, interface. And when we did the prototyping, it just flew and adapt to it instantly. So all those things are called visual design techniques. All those elements, you just have to put them together to make up a good UI screen. Now, it is tough to figure out UI functionality without a guide. You may cripple with the design decision making of the order of elements on the interface. And list the numbers of form you needed to create. You will have to design a feature placement, size of button, topography, color, and progress bar. Now we've done our mid fidelity. Now let's assume that we did not use we just use a default text text that text choice that Figma gives to us. If you open a new file to design something, Figma is just going to give you enter as a default text. So, and I taught you how to search for whatever font choice you want to use. You get to use, and I told you I have a favorite font that I've been using, and that was what we used to practice. Now, in this aspect, you want to decide, okay, what kind of font or typography will I use? I'm not going to use what Figma is giving me, which is the Inter. I want to use another one. So you're going to use, it's just like where you have to create a guide. Okay, just like, okay, let's say I'm going to use the word um going to create like a toolbox where, in the hospital where we have first aid box, somebody got injured, and you open your first aid box, whatever you're going to use and treat the person is inside the box. So in now let's go back to design. It's just like when you have a box and then you say, okay, my typography, this is the kind of font I'm going to use. You put it inside the box. This is the color. Does this color actually match this product? Now we're building um a food mobile application. Does blue actually goes with this product? Yes or no? You have to make a research. Okay, this color actually fits this product, and then you add. But we are not using blue because blue is not actually a good color. It's a good color, but depending the shade of blue you're using for food. But to me, I would prefer you use this pink red shade of would I call it this shade of red that is almost like pink. You can use it for your food, which is actually a good color for food platform. You can use yellow, depending the shade of yellow. You can use this shade of yellow, which is actually a good color for food. It's a nice color for food. So now let's say we are going with this yellow, particular shade of yellow. We'll put it inside our toolbox where we have to get other darker and lighter color of this yellow, and then we'll pack on into the toolbox. Our button have be this curvy button like OP, or it will just be the normal standard button like maybe other application. Let's use GT. For people that use GT, you know how GT four corner button look like. Are we using that kind of button, or are we using opaque kind of button? So that's what you're going to add in the toolbox. Okay, my spacing. The spacing between the top and the right, what kind of spacing are we using? You're going to add it inside your toolbox. Now, I taught you guys how to use layout grid. Now, your layout grid, when you set your layout grid, am I using this kind of layout grid? You add it to inside your toolbox. So all those things that you're adding inside your toolbox is actually what you are going to use when you are implementing the high fidelity of this your design that we all are doing. Now, the design and development of any UI prototype is not an easy order. You need to understand the UI design techniques to create a product that is easy to comprehend, assess, and operate. Now, advanced visual design techniques encompass a range of statistics used to create visual compelling and impactful designs across various mediums such as graphic designs, web designs, UI designs, and more. There are some advanced techniques that often employed. Number one, we have the typography mystery. Typography play a crucial role in UI design, not only conveying information, but also for setting the tone and guiding user and enhancing usability. Now, let me explain what this actually means. Mystery of typography in UI designs involves more than just choosing your font. It is about understanding how this typography interacts with other UI elements to create a cohesive and efficient user experience. Now, what this actually means is, it's not because I am using, okay, let's say somebody is using Poppins. If you're on your Figma, just go and see how Poppins fonts look like. Now, we have Poppins, we have Roboto, we have Inter, we have Red Hat Display, we have Rubik, we have Outfit, we have Urbanlist. Urbanlist and Outfit are almost similar fonts. If you don't check where, you can't tell the difference. So all those fonts are actually nice fonts. And when you want to design, there are sometimes when you choose, okay, let's say there's this font called this signature or glory, either glory of God or signature. It more look like when you are creating all this wedding card something, all this, this kind of wedding invite, those kind of font they normally use. You can't use that kind of font when you are designing an interface, because that font is meant for that kind of designs, that kind of wedding invite. This kind of wedding invite, they use this their funny fonts. You can't use that kind of fonts when you are designing an interface, because it's actually going to make your user not able to read and understand the information on that screen. Imagine when you're telling a user to sign up a screen, and you have your sign up screen title there, and you have those tiny text. Maybe you're trying to just welcome the person and tell the person, put your information. And the person is actually struggling to read what is there because of the kind of font you use. So when now you're trying to, now it depends, you're trying to, you need to use a font that is going to guide your user. It's actually going to set a tune from them. You get, what is this? You're actually going to set a tune for them. Are you trying to, there are some users, they are not fast reader, and they can't see, okay, let's say we have this pop-up that says, oh, we have our confirmation screen or error screen, success or error screens, where you put some display there and you tell them, okay, this action they have performed is either successful or failed. And now that screen is something that is just going to pop up there and then stay for like 5-10 seconds and then goes off. And then you use that kind of font. A user might not actually understand what happened. And let's say this application only have 2 trials. Once you enter the wrong password 2 times, automatically your account is blocked. And you use that kind of font, you have actually not made the user have actually not understand what is going on. The user might just see that pop up with that kind of font, maybe like an advert, and then the user puts a wrong password again, and automatically the system blocks this user from accessing this platform. You've actually not set a tune that is guiding this user. You've actually used a wrong choice of fonts for this kind of interface. That's why it's always good to create your guide. It's always good to create this. I do call it box for beginners, so that you understand, like your box, your element box. You need to create this box where you go to, okay, this is the font I'm going to use, and this is the color I'm going to use. Like, you're going to add it there and say, okay, these are all the elements I'm actually going to use for this my design. Now, one thing about these techniques is that it actually helps developers when they are trying to implement your job. Everybody wants to build a design that all users is going to use. Nobody wants to leave his or her design on Figma forever and ever. Though we are just going to use Figma to practice, and once you are perfect, you're just going to build a platform that users are going to be using. Now you've built this. Now a developer wants to code your work, gotten to the final stage. We are done with testability, getting feedback from user, both negative and positive. We've gotten everything we want. Now we'll push the design to the developers. Now before the developer will actually start coding your work, wherever you've done mobile application, website, web app, wherever you've done on Figma, the developer is going to ask you, can I see your guide? Can I see where you did all the things you use for your design? And then you show your developer, the developer, oh, this is it. It will be very, very easy for them to implement your work, instead of all the time calling you on the phone. How many spacing did you use between this, the margin? How many these? What is the curve? Like, what is your button height? What is your button weight? What is the corner radius? That curvy part to make your button cover is called corner radius. Developers call it border radius, but designers will call it corner radius. Imagine a developer will call you, okay, the corner radius for this your button, I can't see it. All those kind of questions that might get you bored, or maybe get you not start questioning yourself, did I even do something right? You get. So now you need to choose the like you need to choose this design techniques. Like you need to choose the right elements for your design. And number one we have is the typography. Choosing the right font has actually enhance usability, has actually guide your user how they can read and understand, has actually also set a tone for the user. Now this is what we have. Now this is actually a nice font family. This is Pompey's. Now for this heading one, we have this as the heading one, where you say, okay, this is how I want my heading to be thick and bold so that they can able to read and understand. You guys, we have the headings two, we have the title number two. If you're designing for a website, you want your heroes section where you have the image. And let's say let's open both. Let's open both and let's look for a hero section. Now this is both websites. This is both websites. Now you can tell how, no matter how they use their image from year to year, they use their image. You can tell that the choice of color on this their site, you can tell this is actually white and this is white text. You can tell how this is actually readable. So by the time you say go everywhere, anywhere, it's actually readable and both in all in one mobility app. You can tell how this text is actually, no matter how small and how thin it is actually readable. A user can actually read this text. And now the button. Now let's look about the choice of font. The choice of fonts is actually good enough, very, very good. And you could tell how this is actually bold and standing, and you could tell how this is actually small but it's readable. Now the button, the text they use on their button is visible enough. Now if we scroll down, you can tell this is actually bigger than this. But no matter how bigger it is or how smaller it is, you can tell that the font choice is actually readable. Like the spacing, the arrangements, everything is so clear enough. You don't need to zoom in, like you don't need to bring your face closer to actually read. Now if we convert this is actually a web, which is everybody will say, oh yes, it's because it's very big. Now if we take a look at to see the mobile, how it will look like on a mobile view, you can see that it's actually good enough. So now let's change it to the mobile view. So I'm going to use a smaller. Okay, let's come here. I'm going to use let's use a small phone for XR. Let's use XR. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Now let's wait for it. Now as I'm refreshing the page, you can tell how it just actually converted into the mobile view. Now, I mean, this is actually a small phone, so let's wait for it to load finish. So you can see how the header look like. Now I have converted to a smaller font size, and you can see how the text actually fits in well. So I'm waiting for the header to come up. Now from here, from this place to this place is called the hero section. But on your laptop, from the top of your screen here, the whole view of your laptop screen is called the hero section. Now you can tell in the mobile how we have those tests that actually start from year to year on the web. Now in the mobile, they've actually put them inside the hamburger menu. Now this is how this text look like. If we compress it into a mobile view, you can tell that the text are still readable, like it is clear enough, and you can see how here is also clear enough. Now the image, they have actually reduced it to the screen size, which is perfect, and the text are just so readable. Now you can tell this our services that were just scattered all over there. You can tell how the text also actually aligned to the phone view. Now this is actually a good the choice of this font is actually good and okay, and every user can actually read and understand what is written all over there. So that is what topography is. Now, another one we have is another one we have, of which we have to actually try out, is the layout grid and system grid system and layout. We have actually tried that one, and I have taught you how to do it, and I've also taught you the importance of layout grid, and I've also taught you how to put them on your local styles to use it on your entire design, whether you're designing for a tablet, whether you're designing for a mobile, whether you're designing for a web. I have taught you how to do that. But then we are going to look at it again to see that it is one of the elements used for, it is one of the elements, one of the design techniques. Now, the backbone of visual designs, providing structure, organizing, organizing and realms to composures across various digital interfaces. It helps to align your work. Now, site, you can tell that you can tell how. Okay, now let's screw up a little bit. Now let's bring the header. You can tell how straight this alignment in the end. Same thing for year. And then when we go back to the web view, you can tell how it is also aligned. Like, let's scroll up a little. Here is the same, straight to this place from here. This are also starting from here. Now that is the importance of
It's
grid
not showing
system
again.
for alignment, like giving your work a structure, organize and align very, very well. You could tell how this
Your screen is not
text
showing.
line, this together, they on the same line. This is actually aligned here, and this is aligned here, and this is aligned. Design techniques, like it helps to
Hello.
I'm sharing it again. I just stopped sharing. I'm sharing it again. I heard you. I heard you. I said I'm sharing it again. Can you see it now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, so I said on grid system and layout in our previous class when we started working on the main fidelity, we actually created a grid system and layout where I showed the importance of grid system, how it can actually give you structure and organize your designs. And if you take a look at this both app, you see that they use a grid system to help them structure their work. So I'm going to refresh this page so that these images will show here or icon. Okay. Now you could tell how organized and structured this website look like. So if you take a look at other websites, you can tell how structured and organized their site is. It's because they actually use grid system on this their designs. Now, which we already know that it consists rows and columns to accommodate the content hierarchy and maintaining visual harmony across different sizes. Where we talked about, okay, on our web, this is what we are going to use. On our mobile, this is what we are going to use. And tablet, this is what we are going to use. That I said on the web, you can use 12. Your count should be 12. You can use whatever margin you need to use. There is no a particular number because sometimes you want a platform, we don't need this small space. Some platform might need bigger space, some platform might need smaller space. But I think if you want to have a perfect margin for this your spacing, just use between 70 to 100 or 70 to 90. I think the best is 70 to 90 if you want to have a nice margin space between the left and the right. Just use between 70 to 90, and your column count is going to be 12. For tablets, you can use between 6 to 8, and for your mobile, you can use 4 to 12. But the margin, margin is actually going to be less, 25, 30, 28, 27, if you want to have a nice spacing for your margin. For tablets, you know what to use. You're going to use in between what you've used the mobile and what you've used for the web to have a perfect margin spacing. But there are no specific number for the margin. So you're just going to use what is actually good and what you think is a good solver for the arrangement or structuring of your designs. Okay. Now we already know how to do that. But I'm just going to show you how it look like. So this is it. So we already know this is it. This is the screen width. This is the column width between here and here, which I told you is 12. This is the margin, and this is the gutter. This white space between the counts is called gutter, of which Figma always give us default number of 20, where I told you there's no need of changing it. I think I don't know, but if you want to change, you can go ahead. But I think I prefer with what Figma normally gives to me. Okay, but all I work with is the count and then the margin. That's what I normally change. Then the next one we have, one of the design techniques we have is the color theory and palette. Now, these are foundational elements in visual designs, influencing mood and communication within a design. Now, the kind of color you use for your design will influence the mood and send a communication to your user through the design. Now, this is both application. This green is actually okay. I think I love the shade of green. Then we have Uber. So I'm going to open different sites so we can see the color they actually use for their products. Now this is Uber. I love the Uber shade of black. If you pick this color, if you screenshot the image, come to Figma, paste it, and pick their color. I love the shade of black. It's actually nice. They didn't use 00000, which is the black color of it. I love the shade of black they used. Let's open another site. We have I'm going to open a product I did. So I'm going to open one of the products I designed. So this product, I actually use two different shade of green, the light green and the darker shade of green. So I'm just going to open different sites, and then while we are waiting for all of them to load, I'm going to open Piggy Vest. I'm going to open Grace already, but I'm going to open GPay. Is it GPay or GPay? GPay. Let's see. Okay, let's see if any of them has opened. So I have switched to MTN. This is what we get. Okay, so let's wait for it to load. Let's see if I can. Let's wait a little bit. If it doesn't work, then we have to switch to back. Okay, so this is Uber. Wow, just seeing this now. Okay. So this is Uber. Uber is just gray, black, and white, which is perfect. So let's open, let's see if this is actually done. So here I use this shade of green and this shade of green. So that's what I use on this particular design. And then for the landing page, I just add this. I just pick this color because it's related to the emoji we used here. So you can tell that if you look from the color, you just that it's just this green and this particular shade of green that I mostly used here. But then this one, so this is Piggy Vest. So let's wait for it to load. I don't understand these different fonts here. So let's see. Okay, yeah, is it GPay? Okay, so I think I will have to give me a moment. Let me switch my network. Can you can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we
Mhm.
can.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so I've opened 6 different sites. Two are logistic transportations application, three are fintech, and one is an e-commerce web app. All of them are okay. Apart from boats, all of them are web app. Okay, apart from popular and boats, every other one is a web app. So a web application is an application where you can do whatever you want to do without signing up or logging in. But before you proceed, you will have to sign up. Now you can search for any item on Jumia websites without even going to log in. And you can also use it on, you can actually use it on the browser, and you can use that product on your mobile application. We have the YouTube, Netflix, web application. We have Jumia, we have Konga, LinkedIn. But Piggyverse is a web application because you can the browser and you can actually download the application. For a website where you just have to just take a look at it and then go is just like, for example, my portfolio. If someone, or if let's say the class asks me to send my portfolio to them, I'll just send my portfolio for them. They don't have to log in or sign up. All they have to do is just take a look at it and then go their way. They are not signing up. They're not, even if they want to check out all the designs I've done, you can just click on the design, take them to the platform where I linked it up, take a look at it, and then go your way. So that is what a website is. A mobile application is something that you have to first download. Or going to the home page. Okay, so let's continue. So now let's look at this CIS website that I have opened. If you look at it, now let's just take a look at this first one. Now look, this is actually their new design. I so much love this design, the way this thing just fall from up. I so much love it. Now it's logo. Now you can see how the space from year to year is actually different when we open for both apps. Same thing year to year. Now when I said that there is no particular number for Imagine, from year to year, all you just have to do is just make sure the particular number you are using to space Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I mistakenly closed the tab. So if you look at this particular design, you can see how their color actually match this product. We have this, the green. We have for Uber, yes. Uber use black as their primary color. We have for use popular use darker green shade for their. We have for Piggyverse color is blue. What is going on? Ah. God, please. Anything that you are better. Prove to them that you are better. Okay, so look at how Piggy sites look like. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so look at this website. Look at Piggyverse now. You can tell how the spacing from year to year is. Now, if you scroll up, the spacing here spacing here. So it doesn't matter here, it also matters this place. So you can tell the spacing, you can tell the spacing, same thing here. So that is one beautiful thing about palettes. Now you could if you're using Piggyverse mobile app, if you're using Piggyverse mobile app, you can tell how beautiful they use. Their main primary color is blue. The shade let's see if we can actually sign in. Let me show you that shade of blue. Sign in. Now this is their shade of blue. This is their shade of blue. So this is their shade of blue. So I think I have an account with them. Let me log in. Now this is their shade of blue, and they just use this color since it's already on this their website here, like here already. So these are the shade. Now their dollar listing is black. Flex Naira is this color. Their what are they? Save lock, save fixed savings is this blue. Their I think this should like the target savings. Yeah, okay, the name is already here. Thank God. Now the target savings is this green, their piggy bank is this particular blue, and this is their main blue here. Now that is the same blue that they use here, and then for this an account, you can tell this is their own shade of blue, and this even the font that they use on the colored background is actually visible enough. So the name of this font is Duplex something I can't remember the name. The name is actually ringing in my head, but I can't remember the name. Something um diplomatic, or I can't remember, but I know this thing starts with D. So now you can tell how this their fonts look like, and this is their main blue. For Jumia, this is how Jumia orange color. Jumia is orange, and this is color network. Network. Can you guys hear me now? So hello, hello.
Can hear you.
Okay, because the Telegram is actually taking me out and off and on. So I think that sound shows that my Telegram is on. No, sometimes I'll just feel like the look at. So look at Jumia color. You can tell how their fonts look like. If they place the color background, see how style it is. Simpler, popular. I use DM, and you can tell how the fonts look like. Now, say I know the name of this phone, how the phone they blend together in an illustration, and you can tell how everything blends together. The choice of color determines the product we're building. Like you can, like I said, food app. You want to do the shade of blue. Now you could this blue. This is blue and this is blue. But you can tell that they are different shades of blue. This blue is actually different from this blue. Yeah. So this particular Piggyverse blue is different from GPay blue. So let's see if we can log in. Let me just log in. Let me see how their screens look like. let's log out and see how their login screen looks like. Same thing with this one. Okay, since both of them is loading, now let's continue while we come back for it. Now, advanced understanding of color theory involves diving into concepts such as color psychology, which explore how different colors evoke specific emotions and associations. Now, this is what I said. If you are designing for this particular product, this is where you need to work hand in hand with a brand identity designer. I believe some designers, like specifically me, if you give me a project without, let's say for example, you just come, oh Helen, I want you to ask you, okay, and I ask you this e-commerce website, what I want to actually be done on the website, and you said it's all about buying and selling, and I'll tell you, do you have a logo for it? And you said, no, I don't have a logo. Now, this is where you need to, okay, what are the colors that are meant to use for e-commerce platform? And e-commerce platform, you're buying and selling. What are they selling in this particular platform? You cannot just use blood red for, you can use it, blood red for a food app. It's actually nice, but the shade of the red will actually make this application look off a bit, let's say a bit off. Now you're using black for a food app, which is actually going to be good. Now imagine someone who using somebody who using what kind of brown like corner. Let's say somebody's using brown and pink, for a fintech application. You could tell that the product itself, a fintech application where someone can actually save, someone can actually fund wallet, and you're using this kind of baby pink and you're using the dark brown. It doesn't, even from the color, it doesn't match together for this particular product. That is why the color you use actually, the color you pick actually influence the mode of that product. Now you can tell this other product that I have opened. You can see both. You can see Uber, Popular, Piggyverse, GPay, Jumia. If I even open Konga or even other website there, is it Konga or Congo? Konga or Congo sites. I love their color. I don't know if I'll call it pink or I'll call it red, but I love the shade of red they use. I can actually use the same color for a full app. I can actually use yellow for a full app, but the yellow will determine the particular shade I'm using, which is nice. So picking now this, you can tell how this color and this color is the same shade of. We like call this pink, or we like call it red. I think I'll have to call it pink, light pink, normal standard pink, and the darker shade of pink. I think so. Yeah, back. You can tell how their color look like. Their logo is just white with this orange smiling emoji. Yeah, you can see how beautiful it is on their. You can tell how this orange actually blend on this pink background. You can tell how they are different colors. So the color you use on your products will speak or determine how your user is actually going to see the product. Designers can select okay. Designers can select color based on their psychological impact to invoke desire. Now, whether it is creating whether it is creating a sense of calmness with cool tone or inserting energy and exciting with warmness. So if you're selecting your color should determine, like, your color should be cool, calm. Don't use a shouty color. Imagine using lighter shade of green on a white background. This particular green, the lighter shade, this particular green. Now let me go out. This particular green, the lighter of this particular green on a white background. Like, your user is actually going to struggle to read. Like, your user is going to struggle to read that text there. Now you can see how I love this both hero section. You have this image and this text is there, which is actually visible enough. And then you have this color. And if I just move my cursor on it, it changes color. It still remains their green, but it just, like, the not too dark, just a little bit darker shade of the normal green they are using. So that's how one thing about choosing the right color for your design. Additionally, advanced color of color harmonies and relationship including complementary and then thready color scheme. By mastering these principles, designers can create visual harmony, color palette that enhance readable hierarchy and visual appealing within their design. Now, you can tell how all these sites I open, the color that they use, the color actually blends together. Like, it actually readable. Like, no matter the text they put inside the color, the both hero section is readable enough. Like, the UI actually look beautiful because you use the right font choice, you use the right spacing, the grid system, and you're using the right color for the project. So it's just going to make the design look so beautiful. Now I'm going to show you some colors, which I've already shown you for the design, so you can tell how this color is. Now this we have the primary color, so you can use this tool to create a grid, to create you can use these two colors to combine to create a button, or you just split this one and only this one. Okay, now for your button you can just use any of this. Now I showed you what I did for this particular site here. Where is it? Now I show you how I just placed these different colors. Yeah, so that is exactly what you can just do if you already have, maybe so they share the logo for you, or the brand identity designer gave you the different colors that are linked to this particular project, and then you can add it here, and then you have your dark gray for your lighter lighter text. Now let me scroll and show you something. Now all these are black color, so you can tell that this particular shade of black is actually different from this particular shade of black, and is different from this particular shade of black. So your your body text can be the lighter, or instead of lighter, I will use the word the dark gray, and or yes, light gray, not lighter, not too light, but just the light gray, and this one can just be the dark gray, and then this one can be the black text. Okay, so that's what how you're going to use it for your color, instead of just using one particular shade of black or two. It might not look neat, it might not look arranged. User might not tell which one is the title, which one is the subtitle, and which one will be the body. Okay, so the next one we have is illustration and icon. All this is something that we've talked about on our previous class, the mid fidelity, where we talk about icon tells, like, so icons, users might not be able to read everything on your screens. Imagine we have the failed and success screen, where you have the illustration that just give you good for success, and where you have the illustration that just give you bad, where you're just going to place this screen for a user. Okay, this is your whatever action you perform, this is your feedback. It's successful, continue. It is not successful, go back and put the right information. Illustration just tells a user, okay, this is what that you just communicate idea, or just communicate to the user even without seeing the write-up. Illustration and iconography are powerful tools in visual design, offering opportunities to communicate complex ideas, reinforce brand identity, and enhance user experience. Advanced illustration techniques involve mastering different styles from hand-drawn sketches to vector illustrations and understanding how to apply them effectively within different design contents. Illustration can serve as a storytelling device, injecting personality and emotions into designs and guide users through interface. Now, remember our onboarding screen. Let me use our onboarding screen as illustration. For example, imagine we have the onboarding screen where you just have to tell the user maybe short story question. That is why I said onboarding can be minimum of 2 and maximum of 6. If it's maximum, you can't just place maximum of 6 at once on a new project, because you're going to bore the user with a lot of feature for that application. You can just do 3 powerful feature. Maybe in future you can then add one extra feature. The next year, your 3.0, you add another one. 4.0, you add another one. 5.0, you can just add another one to then give you that 6 onboarding page. But if you just want to add the 6 onboarding feature at once, it might bore the users. Now let's use onboarding screen that we did. Remember the first time we create onboarding screen for a food app, and then I went to community to get some nice illustration to to our design. I almost took the whole day where we are looking for the perfect illustration. So you see your onboarding screen, title, text, and body. You just have a picture that just tells the user what's actually going on. Now imagine our onboarding screen where we have other food and use illustration of different food. The next one you have okay, let's say the first one is choose a restaurant, and you have an illustration that has restaurants. The next onboarding screen you have is other food, and then you have different meals picture illustration on that screen. And then the next one is fast delivering, and you have this dispatch rider illustration on it. When a user look at this image, it will tell the user that, oh, in this application, you can choose a restaurant, order a meal, and then it is delivered to your destination. Now, even a user that doesn't know how to read, or a user that doesn't like reading, when looking at this illustration, the user can just automatically understand what is going on that particular site. Not only illustration, to image too. Same thing applies to the icon. Now imagine our go back to our home page we did on our previous class, where we have the bottom navigation, and I told you in the bottom navigation there is going to be home, there is going to be saved food, there is going to be food cart, and there is going to be an account. Now let's say okay, let me open up a site. Okay, look, my Figma is already open. So I'm just going to use one of my design and show you something. Let's see if this is actually open. Okay, let's see the one that opens first. Either this or this. Okay. I think both of them are still loading. Okay, this one. Now this is what a bottom navigation look like. This is a bottom navigation. This is what it. Now you can see how this is aligned. Even without a user looking at the text, a user will tell this is home, which is the home page. A user will tell track, which is like track your maybe your ride, or track whatever parcel. This is a logistic and transportation mobile application. something similar to Uber and Bolt. So when looking at this, you tell this is home. When looking at this, you tell this is like track your parcel. When looking like this, you say, okay, this is to see the history of whatever you've done on this particular application, and then account to go to your account section where you get to edit your profile, do whatever you want to do on your profile, chat the customer care, um, you know, withdraw your money, blah blah blah, and all you get on the account section. So this is when looking at these icons, you just pair what is there. Like this is history. This is history to see whatever you've done on the particular on this application. The next one is track your order, home, go back to the home page, account, go to the account section. So that is what icons look like. For the illustration, so let's scroll up so I can show you something. For the illustration, we just like a storytelling where you have to tell a story about what is going on your actually still open. Same thing for the food that we did on our previous screen. Now this is actually, so this is my design I did 2 years ago. So this is for the onboarding, telling you to pick a meal, fast delivery, and enjoy your meal because they make a good food. Okay, so this is what an illustration will just tell you a user, just like a storytelling image of what is happening on that particular screen. Same thing applies for your success and failure. Success, like here is telling you to enable your location. Here is telling you that, oh, your phone number has been verified. Here we have the success and error. We have the success and error. Here we have the success to tell you your item has, or your order is successful. Here it just tell you the track and all. So that is what illustration and icon stands for. Okay. Advanced iconography and illustration goes beyond simple symbol to convey meaning and explore techniques such as shading, texture, perspective to add depth within the interface for user to have good experience. Now I have showed you what icon and illustration actually look like, of which we start practicing. Okay, and this is it. So this up one is called the icon and the down one is called illustrations. Okay, so for the icon we have the feed icon, we have the outline icon, of which I told you which one is the feed and this one is the outline icon. Okay. So next one we have the button. Now the button component that enable users to perform action and navigate through digital experience. Advanced button designs involves carefully consideration of factors such as visual hierarchy, affordance, and feedback to optimize usability that seamlessly integrates with the overall design ethics, which provide clear affordance for interaction. Now, buttons. Now, but designers explore different buttons such as the states, different button states such as disabled, active, focus button, and all. Now, this is what it actually means to create seamless experience. This is what it means. Here we have different buttons. We have the active button, we have the over button, we have the press button, we have the disabled button. Now I'm going to come to this product I did here. So if my cursor come here, it automatically change. Now this is an active button. So if I take my cursor out, this is actually an active button. But if I move my cursor on it, it's actually an over button. So active button is standing on its own. Over button, so I think I'm going to use both to show you example 2. Now this is active button. So by the time I move my cursor, this is over button. We have pressed button. By the time you pressed a button, it has its own different shade of color. And let's say you have disabled button, a screen where you have to put a screen where a screen that is going to have the lighter shade of that your active button. By the time you start putting information on that button, it automatically turn active. Which product will I think of that does that? I can't think of any products right now. I think Opay does that. Opay, when you are trying to fund your wallet, by the time you don't put any amount, it's just going to show disabled. By the time you just put one number, it's automatically showed active button. Same thing when you are trying to log in your Opay account and you're putting your password. By the time you just look at the login, it's going to be disabled button. But when you start putting your password, the first figure you put, automatically the button becomes active. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I am. Yes, I am sure. Same thing when you want to fund your account, you want to fund your wallet of Opay, it works the same way. I can't think of any other product, but I think Opay does this. And I've showed you what hover button is, and I've showed you what pressed button is, and I've showed you what disabled button look like. Okay, so the next one we are going to look at is the input field. I know you'll be saying, what is input field? What is input field? What is input field? So this is called an input field. Now here I have my phone number. It's called the input field. You can know this. I have 3 accounts. So this is called an input. This is password input field. You have the first name, last name input field. You have the full name input field. You have the create password input field. You have the phone number input field. So all these things, as long as you're going to type something in it, it's called input field. So input field are crucial elements in the UI design, enabling users to input data and submit information and interact with digital application. Advanced input field designs involves optimizing usability, accessibility, and clarity to streamline with the input process and enhance user experience. Designers carefully consider factors such as input validation, placeholder text, and input marks to provide clear guidance and feedback to user while minimizing also involves implementing adaptive input feed that adjust dynamically based on user input or ability and usability. Designers explore autocomplete, multiple step forms. Designers can create interface that now this is different in input thinking inside. Now this is active input. This is active input field. And by the time I put this information, this is also field like in auto field or field input screen input field. Now this is an input field where you have the email and password, email and phone number, email or phone number, and then you have the input field for the button. Sometimes you can add the eye icon, but this is actually a login. Let's see for sign up and see how it turns to be. Or do they have? Okay, if I scroll, I want to see. Don't have an account. Click an account. Okay, let's see how they're input. Now look at how, so you can scroll because it's actually long. So now look at their sign up screen. This is disabled input field. Now here you're going to just type, let me autofill. I already have this information. Okay, so here we already have auto field. So I'm just going to put a password. So here I'm going to add maybe referral code. Somebody gives to me and tells me about Piggyverse, and the person sends me his or her referral code for me to use and create account, so that the person will have maybe 1 naira or 2 naira from Piggyverse based on the person actually referred me to create an account. You know, So then here we have the drop down. So here you just like select, here you just drop down where you have to click, you select, and then just click and select, and then you go. So this is what this APP. There is a date feed, just like the normal MP feed. Then we have for the date picker where you have to, okay, they say put in your date of birth. You just click on the date icon. It automatically shows you calendar where you have to select the day and the month and the year of your birth, and then you just click OK or select, and then it automatically fill. There is other input field. There is input field for the value where we add that food quantity. Is it plus one extra one plate, or if you already selected 3 plates and you cannot pay 15,000 naira for 3 plates of food, and then you have to take out one. There is an input field that shows you this input in this screen is correct. Let's say, for example, you want to log in and it shows that your email address is error. It just automatically shows you this error screen and then this success screen if the information is correct. So you have some input field where you only read the text, you don't have to fill. You just only read and then you go your way. Just like automatically, it's already filled there for you. Okay, so that is what this design techniques are. Although there are some, but these ones I just listed out here are the ones that are very, very important for you to use as a guide for your design. And now all these things are first created before you design your high fidelity. But if you can design this, let's say you can design this um, before your mid fidelity, it's actually going to help you because all you have to do, our mid fidelity, we are not adding color, we are not adding um we're not adding color. Yes, we're adding text. You can just use, instead of doing a double work, using the default font that Figma has provided, but you have your choice of fonts. You can create all this. You can add color, no problem. But when you're doing the mid fidelity, after you've created all these your design techniques elements, after creating them, what you just do, you just use your font choice to just add, use your button pattern to add, but all those things is not going to have color. You can just keep your icons. When you're doing your high fidelity, you can add your icons. So I'm going to show you some of these elements I have actually created for an ongoing design that I have done. So I'm going to show you some of the designs that I have done. So I'm going to, okay, let's open this one. We already have this one open. So I'm just going to select this. Yeah. So let's wait for it to load. Okay. Perfect. So, Jesus. Now you can tell the different kinds of button I have here. So I have this button with icon. I have the loading button. I have the disabled button. I have my secondary button and I have my primary button. And I have my primary button here. Now I have my bottom navigation. I have different input field. I have this. I have the error. I have the sources. I have the phone number to select your country phone number. I have the text field. I have the drop down, how it look like, and I also have the drop down when you select it. I have for the search bar. I also have my color, state color, sources, warning, and error. I have my primary color and asset color. The asset color can be called, asset color is actually different from secondary color. Let's say an application where the logo is to color can be just the color you can just patch to the platform, just like what I show you on use popular. Here I have my gray color, I have my white. I can't drop this white on a white background, so that is why I just had to add little shadow on that so that you can tell that there's white on it. You can choose to add stroke, but I just want to leave it this way. This is my light gray, this is my dark gray, and this is my darker gray. And this is the font that I'm using, though I did not create the different styles of fonts, but I'm going to show you um another design of mine where I show you the different pattern or different sizes and widths of fonts that I use. Then yeah, I also have, okay, these are mostly components, but once we start, I'm going to show you how to create all these components. So, but for now, I'm just showing you the style guide. So style guide is like um everything I use on a particular design, just like a toolbox where you put all the things that you use on your design. These components are actually also good, where we had to create one particular button. This is active toggle and checkbox. This is for the back. This is for the OTP input field. This is for bottom navigation. This is for your toast information, that comes out from the top, like your WhatsApp. People that are using Telegram and WhatsApp on their laptop, the notification comes out from the up or from the bottom. So these are called the toast notification. So we have the toggle button where we have to go offline or come offline. We have the input field where is the normal input field, how it will look like when a user wants to type and how it will look like when a user has actually typed. So we're going to learn how to create all this. But before we continue, I'm just going to show you how it looked like on my designs. So let's see if this one has actually opened, and then we'll take a look at other designs. So, okay, so I'm going to walk us through. Where is it? Okay, so while you're waiting for this one to load, let me show you some designs. Too much. Okay, this one I don't have anything much. So okay, let's see if this one has actually opened while we're waiting for the other one to open. Okay. Okay, so this is another one. just hold on a little. Why is loading? Are you guys still with me?
Yes, ma'am, we are with you.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna see for the other one. Okay, let me see if I can switch network. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. Hello. You can't. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. So this is another one I did for a product. So this is for the color. So this one, you know about one thing about design is when you do your first design, you do your second design, you just see yourself start improving over time. So and another one is there are different patterns you can just arrange your work. You can arrange everything together. You can arrange one just separate frame. So here I have my color. So here this particular product has two color, the primary and the secondary color. And this is the primary color, and inside the primary color, inside this particular primary color, I brought out this different shade of green. Same thing for the secondary color, I brought out this different shade of green. So I can just take this shade of green from my primary color, use as maybe a background, or use as a shadow, or use as just one or two thing I want to add in my UI design. Then for the alert, I have the information, I have the sources, I have the warning, I have the error, I also have the disabled color. Same thing for the gray. I normally call it dark colors. I call it dark colors instead of black colors. Black, black is a color, like a color name on its own: black, white, green, but dark colors, that okay, there is gray inside, there is this color inside. So for my dark color, this is my shade of black I'm using this particular one, gray. I'm using this, and then the white color. Now you can tell this particular one I added stroke, the other one I added shadow. So there is no particular way for you to just do your design. You can just do it in every way. And there is a lot of templates on the community as a guide for you to create your own style or pattern. Then for my graded, I have my gradient green, where I mixed my primary and secondary to use that for my button. So for the text typography, so these are the fonts I use. So here I use two type of fonts. I use the Montserrat and I use Artfit. So for Montserrat, I use all my bold fonts. I use Montserrat, semi-bold, the title, I use Montserrat, the medium size outfit, regular outfit, and light outfit. So I use Montserrat from PX, let's say 14 PX to 20. So I use 48 is bold, 40 is bold, 32 is bold. I use 24 bold, and I use 20 bold as my title text. Then for my body text, I use from 18 to 10. I use 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10. That's what I use. I use semi-bold for medium, medium, regular, and then light. So that is what I use for my body text. Then my title text heading, I use from 48, 40, 32, 24, and 20. I'm going to have different heading because of the different size of devices or interfaces I'm designing for. The next I have is a frame where I packed all my components. So I'm going to teach you how to design that, which I promised last class. So here I have my active button, I have my overt button, and then I have my disabled button. I have I have my secondary button, the active button and overt button. Same thing with this button with icon. I have my button, this now we have this drop down button, this and this. We have the radio button. This is radio button. I have my avatar icon. I have my toggle button. I have my checkbox. I also have my search bar, how it will look like displayed in the design. When you want to search for something, this is how it will look like. The input field automatically changes to green, and then you have it how, like, the results. I forgot to add X here. I'm going to do that. So for my input field, this is how I want my input. Now you can tell that design that I showed you, the input field is actually different from this. But in this particular product, I want my active input field to be this way, the normal input field to be this way. When it's active, when you want to add input information, this is how it automatically give you this green highlighted stroke, and how it will look like: display, phone number, and all. So I just did some, small prototyping for these ones, of which I'm going to teach you how to do it tomorrow. And then for my country drop down, this is how it will look like when it's there. When you click, it change this way. You select the one you want to select, and then you select this way. Same thing applies for the gender. Now this was the dates input field I was telling you, where you don't need to just you select your dates. You click on this date icon, it brings out the dates. You select the date you want, the month, you select the year, for the input, the input field is already this pattern, but just has different title. Same thing for the gender, the gender, the country, the course, like that. For the password, this is how it will look like. This is how it look like when a user. This is how it will look like, the normal input field when a user wants to type his or her password. When the user has typed the password, and when a user click on this eye icon, this is how it's going to look like, and like this. Same thing applies to create password. This is enter password. So the reason why I have it different was because I did some prototype in it, of which I'm going to teach you how to do that. So that all these ones on this frame are the component things I did in component. Then if you move to this other place, you can see how my header look like. So I'm designing a larger screen and a web and a mobile screen. So for the web, this is how I want it to look like, where I have a student header and a tutor header. So for the input field, these are the types or kinds of input field I'll be using on my design, of which I have done them in prototype, in components here. But when you come to this screen, these are the kinds or types of input field I'll be using. Yeah. There's no password here, but it's already displayed here. So for the toast, you already know this is toast, come out here or here. But this one is going to come out at the top right of our screen. So that's why I place it there. So when a developer sees it, the developer will know, oh, this particular toast information or toast notification is actually going to come out from the right top of the screen, Then for I did for my I did for the header for mobile. So here I have with search icon and without search icon. Same thing for tutor, search icon and without search icon. So these are some when you're trying to upload file, how you want it to look like. So I did some designs here for the developer and also for me when I want to start doing my prototype for my design. So here I dropped the icon set or icon pack I am using. So I found this icon pack on the Figma community, which is actually so cool to use. And I can share the link with you if you want. So once it's open, I'm going to share the link with you. So I actually dropped the link here in case the developer does not see any of the icon I use on the design. The developer can go ahead to check it out here. So these are called the sky guards. So before a developer will start working on your design, or maybe before your product manager or your team lead will come to your design, or even you before you start your design, you actually need all this to as a guide to your design. And also, it is not compulsory that you're going to design all of them before you start designing. You can just create the simple ones, the input field, the button. But as time goes on, when you are doing your design in it, then that's when you're going to, anyone you know that you're going to use multiple times, then you have to bring it here and make it as a component, and then just all you have to do is just drag and drop. But the ones that you need to first of all create is need to first of all drop is those ones I mentioned in class, where you have your color, typography, your grid system, your button, your input field. So those things are very important. It should be the first thing you create before you start designing before you start creating your design, whether it's a mobile application, in web view or mobile view at all. Okay. So I also have another one to show you here. So here is another one I did. So here is another one too I did. So you can see that I created my textile in different patterns. You can choose to create it different patterns. So here I dropped the logo because this particular company gave me their logo, green and blue, and I'm using this particular font, which is a Google font, red hat display, and I'm using from 52px down to 12px. So here I have 52, 48, 44, 40, 32, 28, 24. Okay, 24 semi-bold. Here I have 24 medium. I have 20 medium. I have 20 regular. I have 18 medium. I have 18 regular. I have 16 regular. I have 16 medium. I have 14 regular, I have 14 medium, I have 12 regular, I have 12 medium. Now I have my color palette where I have these are the two color, but I want to use this other shade of blue on my design, of which I had to bring out these colors here and this here. And dark colors and the dark colors I'm using for my state color. This is it. So this was what I was telling you you can create. This was what I was telling you that you can create. Now you can create your button like this. You can create your button like this. You can create these simple ones. So by the time you start designing other ones that you're going to use multiple times, then you have to bring it here. Now for here we have the carousel, those things that shows how many screens that is going to be, like a slider or whatever you want to call it. The onboarding, we added something like this on the onboarding. So you can create this as components instead of repeating it several times. Then for the radio button, for the checkbox, you can just take this to your design and then rename it, remember me, something like that. If you want your radio button to carry text, you can go ahead and add the text. So this is what we have for the toggle button. So here we actually have the login and then the sign up and the verification and the rest. So you just have to create this in components. You don't have to, it's just like a reused element where you don't have to start creating things from scratch. You just have to create it, and then once you go to your layer, you just drag and drop and then change to want to use. So same thing here. So all this we are going to learn it tomorrow. We're just going to learn how to create all this particular style guide using the ones we just mentioned in class. So if from next week when I'm teaching you how to design a landing page for the web and the mobile, then I'm going to show you how to create all those things in auto layout and then put them in components for you to reuse them. Okay, so this is what visual design techniques look like. Style guide, you can call it style guide or your element box, whatever name you want to call it, but it is well known as style guide. Everybody knows it as a style guide, which is like a guide for your design and for you as a designer, and also a guide for your developer, for the developer that wants to implement or code your work. Okay, so that is what it look like. So the floor is open for everybody to ask question.